Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Oh, we're starting at here? Let's back up and start at the very beginning.
On June 8th, 2023, a new sci-fi animated comedy called Haileys On It premiered on Disney Channel. Created by Devin Bungie and Nick Stanton, the series centers around a risk-averse 14-year-old girl named Hailey Banks, played by the voice of Moana, Auli'i Carvalho. The show's not technically a musical like Phineas and Ferb or The Ghost and Molly McGee, but she still sings sometimes. Hailey's not the kind of girl who likes to try new things or step outside of her comfort zone.
Not happening. Maybe next year. Oh, no.
But all that changes on New Year's Eve when she's visited by a professor from the future and is told that she's going to save the world from climate change and chaos bots in the future. And the first step on this journey is completing what's essentially a massive bucket list that Hailey's been compiling for years now of stuff she's always wanted to do, but has never had the guts to try. The reason why the professor's having to come back in time to tell her all of this is because chaos bots have been sent back in time to stop her from completing the list. So it's more or less the plot of Terminator, but with drones and climate change instead of Terminators and Skynet. Put a pin in the climate change bit, we'll circle back around to that. The professor is actually a fairly minor character who mainly exists to give exposition and occasionally set an episode's plot in motion or provide a deus ex machina. The professor gives Hailey a high-tech smartphone personal assistant AI named Beta, played by Gary Anthony Williams, who people outside of the show's intended target audience of 7 to 14-year-olds will most likely recognize from the Boondocks.
Well, according to my calculations, the next item you should attempt with a 92% achievement probability is number 143, Kiss Scott Denoga.
I present to you the Luther, a full-pound burger patty covered in cheese, grilled onion, 5 strips of bacon, all sandwiched between
2 donuts.
2 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Your mileage may vary on Beta. I like him, but some of my friends I talk to very much don't. Beta has an algorithm that allows him to figure out what the optimal list item is to complete at any given time. He's got a short temper and doesn't enjoy putting up with nonsense, which is unfortunate for him because he's stuck with Scott all the time. Beta cares very strongly about his mission to help Hailey complete the list, but I really like that it never comes at the expense of Hailey's life and her relationships. Beta's a grouch, but he genuinely cares about her and wants her to be happy. Hailey lives with her mom, her dad, and her 2 baby twin brothers, Dwayne and Johnson. Her mom's a realtor, and her dad, I actually don't think the show ever says what he does or if he does have a job. But he's just a really cool guy. And with that, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Scott Denoga. Scott is Hailey's best friend. He's sweet, outgoing, naive, and is also definitely not the brightest crayon in the box.
Let's do something for my list.
So when Scott found out about my list, he started making his own. No one asked him to, and we've never completed any of his items because they're all very...
Number 4, count every grain of sand.
very Scott.
Ooh, number 17, watch 2 monster kaiju fight in real life. Number 37, pull a hat out of a rabbit. We like that one? Okay, what about this? Number 67, ghost sandwich.
What does that even mean?
He's extremely loyal and will help Hailey with absolutely anything. Their friendship is really great. It genuinely does feel like the two of them have known each other for their whole lives. But when Disney first started marketing the show, they revealed the crucial plot detail that one of the list items is that Hailey has to kiss him.
I'm gonna learn to play the glockenspiel. I'm gonna invent a new color. I'm gonna kiss Scott Denoga. Let's just plan to do that one later.
When I heard about this, I was extremely worried. People have complained that Molly McGee Season 2 is focused way too much on shipping when that show has had a grand total of 3 episodes that even remotely focused on it. This is a core element of the show. It's in the theme song.
Do a corn maze, hope I don't get lost. Eat an onion, kiss my friend Scott.
Huh?
And I was even more worried when Christine was introduced. Christine is a social media influencer, and no, that's Andrea Davenport. There we go, that's Christine.
Hi, Christine.
Christine is a social media influencer and fashionista. She's a bit self-absorbed, but unlike early season 1 Andrea Davenport, Christine is actually super sweet. So much more like season 2 Andrea Davenport. And in the first episode, Scott and Christine start dating. Again, people said they were worried Molly McGee would end up like Starverse's, but Starverse is focused on love triangles to the point where you could almost confuse it for Miraculous Ladybug, which, no, I'm sorry, I will never watch that show or talk about that show on this channel. And I was worried that this would be the same thing, but the show pleasantly surprised me. Hailey frets about the situation because, obviously, but she's never jealous of or unpleasant towards Christine. Most of her resistance towards Christine just comes from the two of them having completely different personality types. It would actually be pretty easy to forget about the kiss in some episodes if the theme song in beta didn't bring it up. Scott dating Christine didn't last as long as I thought it would either. Christine wanted Scott's help with an audition for a fashion reality show, but he kept flaking on her because he and Hailey had to rescue Beta. She even tried to make him jealous at one point and he just didn't notice.
Anyway, when you said that you were too busy to help me with my video, I asked Logan. He's so crazy.
So you two are going to be spending all week working together? That's totally perfect! I'm going to be way busy anyway, so that works out great. Plus, he looks super strong, so he can probably carry all your equipment in one trip. Thanks for helping out, Logan!
My pleasure, mate.
Okay, well, Logan and I need to try on swimsuits for our beach shoots. Bye!
Bye! So, good news. Christine made it onto the Hat House show.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's great news, isn't it? Am I missing something? Scott?
And also, she broke up with me.
I like how the show actually shows that Scott just didn't take his relationship with Christine that seriously, and explores the consequences of that.
It's kind of hard to explain why it was so important for me to come here, but I shouldn't have made Scott come. Not on your anniversary. I'm sure you had some really fun plans.
Not really. His original plan was to take me to the batting cages to watch his sick cuts. So a bus ride to the country with you actually sounded super fun.
After the breakup, Hailey tries to cheer Scott up and psychs herself up to finally tell Scott that she likes him so that she can kiss him. But she and Beta don't realize that this would be a horrible idea if Hailey wants literally any chance at continuing to have a friendship with Christine. And like I said, Beta is understanding of this. After all, it's not like this particular list item is time sensitive, and it wouldn't be worth wrecking her friendship with Christine. Later, when Hailey tries to throw a cool party, one of the kids brings a game that's basically like Truth or Dare with a spin the bottle card thrown in. Hailey and Beta quickly realize that this is the perfect loophole for her to kiss Scott without ruining her friendship with Christine. But then Hailey realizes something.
Kiss him! Kiss him!
This was it. My chance to kiss Scott, and it wouldn't mean anything. But that's when I realized if I was going to kiss Scott, I actually wanted it to mean something. No, I'm not comfortable doing that right now.
And so the kiss waits for another day. Scott also has a younger sister named Becker.
We were even voted Best Tomato Chuckers by Veggie Weekly and Fruit Weekly.
It's a contentious issue.
And if Christine is like Andrea Davenport, then Becker is Daryl McGee. She's an agent of chaos, she's super confident, funny, loves doing dangerous stuff. And another kind of mini romance arc that happens is that of Becker briefly having a crush on Hailey. And when I say briefly, I mean...
Whoa, did you hear that, Chainsaw? She's totally into me. Someday, I'm gonna kiss Hailey Banks. Ugh.
Why the face, dude? Didn't you once tell me you were planning to kiss Hailey Banks?
That's old news, Chainsaw. She gives off stage 5 clinger vibes.
Which, again, props to this show for a really interesting subversion of expectations. Not to mention just a realistic depiction of how crushes sometimes work.
Whoa, Hailey, tone it down, girl.
Hey, why are you guys on my phone? Did you order flowers?
Jeez, Hailey, I need dinner first. Dinner delivery for Becker Denoga.
In Along for the Slide, Hailey and Scott want to tag along with Becker to climb Mount Oceanside so she can ride the abandoned Alpine slide. Yes, because they'd totally leave a cart on the track of that abandoned Alpine slide. Also, as a roller coaster nerd, I have to point out, that is not an Alpine slide, that is a mountain coaster! And there's a girl named Kennedy who's been busting Becker's chops about the rules, and she ends up going with them on this hike. And then this happens.
No one asked you to crash our hike in the first place! Why are you always up in my business?
I like you, okay? I think you're cool and funny and confident.
Stick with me, kid. Near-death experiences like this happen to me on the regular. Seriously? After all that, you're giving me another citation?
It's my number, dummy.
No, for real, I was worried about it, but the romance is actually easily the most compelling part of the show. Much like everything with Molly and Ollie, it's actually very realistic and nuanced and grounded.
I know your heart was set on ice cream, but I think I'm more of a frozen yogurt kind of girl, if you know what I mean. Good talk.
What just happened? I still need to use this coupon.
Together we'll fly beyond the sky.
It expires soon.
There's some continuity, but there's not really any major arcs outside of everyone's love lives and Christine being on a reality show called Hat House. Although, I want to pick apart the mechanics of the list for a second. Some of these list items are really specific, but others have been shown to actually have a fair amount of wiggle room. In Bringing Home the Beacon, Hailey wants to fix a broken lighthouse that's been in her family for generations.
Stars, dignitaries, they're all here to shake the hand of Polonius Hapgood Florange and witness his state-of-the-art marvel, the Oceanside Lighthouse. That is, until Florange realized his folly. He hard-mounted the light backwards.
Wait, so why couldn't they just fix the beacon? Also, I've never heard of a hard-mounted lighthouse beacon. Lighthouse beacons are supposed to rotate, and it clearly does that later in the episode. This is really stupid. But the point is to complete list item number 17.
Show Mom I can fix anything.
Do you even want to hear what the world's most advanced supercomputer has to say about the probabilities of that?
And then, when the repairs fail, Hailey opens up to her mom.
I'm not selling the lighthouse because it's broken. I'm selling it because I've been embarrassed by it my whole life.
Really? I didn't know that.
Sure, it's a failure. A failure by my great-grandpa.
So it's not perfect. So what? Neither am I.
What are you saying, Hailey?
I'm saying that if you're embarrassed by this imperfect lighthouse, then maybe you're embarrassed by me, too.
Hailey, I've only ever been proud of you, and I'm sorry if I ever made you feel any other way.
Aww. I'm sorry, too, Mom, for getting so angry. I get stubborn sometimes.
You're just like your mother.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, Hailey.
I don't understand. I didn't even fix the lighthouse.
No, but you did fix something else.
Huh? Oh, was it my hair? Or a sandwich? No, I had soup today.
No, your relationship. You fixed your relationship with your mom.
Oh, of course. High five.
Yeah, this was never really set up. I mean, her relationship with her mom might be a little bit tense. She's obviously the stricter parent, but I'd hardly call their relationship broken. And that kind of got me thinking, would it be out of the question for Hailey to just give Scott a platonic peck on the cheek? I think she's way overthinking the whole kiss thing. Oh wait, apparently the lyrics for the song in the first episode say that a peck on the cheek won't cut it? That's stupid as hell! Why would that not count? Learning to give a haircut doesn't mean it has to be a good haircut.
You look like you went to Stupid Cuts and got the special.
But the kiss one is more specific? The rest of the show is episodic, and that's by design. Pretty much every episode is just them crossing off a new list item.
Another list item completed. Oh, wait, this wasn't even a list item. I've got to get that last coin out of my dad's couch.
And the list as a whole is just the first step on Hailey's path to becoming the important person she's supposed to be. The importance of the list is obviously much more about her having to step outside of her comfort zone and try new things than actually completing most of the tasks. The problem is that after the first episode, we don't ever really see her hesitate to do anything. Another thing is that, by design, she's never going to get grounded for anything, even if she does something like almost lose her little brothers at a concert. Hailey and Scott win tickets to a concert, completely forgetting that Hailey had agreed to babysit that night. I don't know how true it is that this would be their only chance to go, but they call ahead and find out the kids under 5 get in free, so they just bring the twins with them. And they even bring hearing protection and sunglasses for them, so honestly, they're being pretty responsible until they tie the twins to a railing and subsequently lose them. Like, that was stupid as hell. I don't know why you did that. Anyways, turns out Hailey's mom lied about having a work meeting and went to the concert. A concert she somehow didn't realize her 14-year-old daughter maybe wanted to attend as well. What was the reason for this again?
But Mom, I want front row passes. I have to go.
Sorry, I've got a work meeting tonight that I cannot miss. That's why your father has to go to the school PTA meeting.
A PTA meeting? You can miss a PTA meeting, jeez.
You fixed your relationship with your mom.
I'm sorry, Hailey, but you can't shirk your responsibilities to go to a concert.
Yeah, that's my job. I'm gonna gaslight you and your dad so I can go to the same concert. Anyways, they complete the list item and end up getting busted, but since Hailey's mom lied about having a work meeting, they agree to never speak of this again. What was learned from this experience? Hopefully that this family needs to communicate better. I guess you wouldn't want to see Hailey get in serious trouble for completing a list item though. After all, she's supposed to single-handedly save the world and stop climate change. Oh yeah, let's talk about the climate change part.
Here's the 12-second summary. By completing your list, you're named San Diego County's Young Person of the Year. You win a big trophy. The mayor's there wearing his mayor sash. It's kind of a big deal. That accomplishment then catches the attention of President Serena Williams.
Hold on, the tennis player?
Oh, right, she did play tennis. But yes, President Williams sponsors you for an X grant, which you work your butt off and win by inventing a crowdsourced decarbonization device, which completely reverses the effects of climate change. By the way, thanks for that.
Whoa, go me!
I don't know if they thought about other apocalypse scenarios or why they ultimately landed on the climate change angle, but it feels strange to take a very real problem that needs to be addressed with widespread collective action and do a show where the premise is, oh, this one 14-year-old girl is going to solve all of that. Not even by doing anything to help the environment, but by completing a random bucket list first. The Ghost and Molly McGee handled the topic of climate change better in 11 minutes than what Haileys On It has done across its entire run so far. After learning about climate change at school, Libby starts almost gleefully preparing for the apocalypse, while Molly and Ollie have a much more optimistic outlook on the situation.
If we go absolutely carbon zero, that's gotta make a difference.
How could it not? Let's save the planet!
They do everything they can to go carbon neutral, but this results in Molly and Ollie making their lives completely miserable for what ultimately amounts to a drop in the bucket.
We did it! We stopped climate change!
We're carbon zero heroes! Molly? Not to interrupt your embarrassing theme song, but yeah, I think you put too many zeros in Carbon Zero Hero.
What? But that's... basically nothing. We didn't change anything.
We're Carbon Zero Zeros, which doesn't even sound good.
And Scratch's devastation upon realizing that an apocalyptic world would mean no more ice cream leads to an important realization.
The silky ice cream, the crunchy waffle cone, the humble sprinkles, by themselves, they're good. But when they come together, they're great! Each part working to improve the whole!
Wait, I see what you're saying, Scratch.
Yes.
Like rainbow sprinkles, we can't do this alone! Right! We all have to work together to save the environment.
You're using ice cream as a metaphor for the power of collective action!
Not what I was saying, but yes! Run, children, run! Get that ice cream!
And after pleading their case to the mayor and the city council, Brighton enacts a green plan.
Our Green Brighton plan has officially begun. 10 years, Brighton will be carbon neutral.
Green jobs, bike lanes, our own locally manufactured wind turbines. We couldn't do it alone, but together we're making a difference. Uniting as one!
And I'm not saying the entire show needs to be preachy or anything, but if you're gonna have that be a part of the show, a bit more of the environmentalism theme outside of Hailey building birdhouses sometimes would be nice. Going back over to things I like, in addition to Becker, there's plenty of background characters who are LGBTQ, which is great.
Fortunately, my handsome boyfriend Dad is coming to the pole. Let's see if he can tether the storm. He cannot. This is as disappointing as our last Valentine's Day dinner.
I like how in the intro when Scott falls, it always makes a different sound effect.
Huh?
Butterscotch down!
Like I said, the show's not a musical, but the songs we've gotten have been pretty good. I think the writing's generally good, if sometimes a bit contrived. Again, some of the stuff with her mom just doesn't feel very natural. So overall, I think Haileys On It can be pretty fun. The biggest problem is that the show's just not all that funny outside of Beta mocking Scott and Scott being a lovable dumbass. But the show's strengths lie in the characters. The kids are likable, they have compelling and realistic relationships, and whenever the show focuses on that, it's really good. I can only hope that as the show goes on, it continues to improve. As it stands, it's not appointment viewing for me. I mean, I did fall behind and have to get caught up on it to make this video, which I'm also going to have to do with Hamster and Gretel. But it's a fun little show if you have the time. Oh, and having Weird Al play basically Pringles Willy Wonka, mwah, genius.
Sheeple! Don't be taken in by the
only potato tree in the world! It's the secret behind the Dingle's Crunch. We cook them first.